Hey everybody, it's Dave here from Dragonhill Games, and before we get started, I want to wish you a happy holidays. No matter how you celebrate your holiday season, I wish you and your family the very best. It's not too often that one card is responsible for so much movement in the Magic the Gathering marketplace, but that definitely happened this week with Magda Brazen Outlaw getting spoiled from the brand new and upcoming KALDHEIM set. This card has a ton going for it, and it also gives us a bunch of information about this new set. First off, for just 2 mana, we're getting a legendary Dwarf Berserker, so that's really important. It tells us two things. Both Dwarfs and Berserkers are going to be prominently featured in KALDHEIM. Whenever a Dwarf you control becomes tapped, create a treasure token. And finally, sacrifice 5 treasures, search your library for an artifact or dragon card, and put that card directly onto the battlefield and shuffle your library. So this also leads us to believe that dragons are going to be a thing in KALDHEIM as well, although that hasn't been confirmed as of yet with spoilers. Definitely an interesting card, could be a really fun commander for sure, and this is going to be one to be keeping your eyes on. Alright, let's dive right into our top 10 list, and we're going to start right here with Wailuly Wolf from Arabian Nights. Coming in at number 10 this week, Wailuly Wolf is up 66% to $8 for the original Arabian Nights printing. Of note, this had an alt art printing in Arabian Nights as well, and that particular printing is worth $11.30. You can also pick up a classic 6th edition or 5th edition printing of this for around 50 cents if it's something that you decide you want for your deck. It's not a card that sees a lot of play in Commander. In fact, it appears in under 100 decks. However, it is possible to use Wailuly Wolf to make one of your creatures either very big or infinitely huge if you are able to pair it with something like Staff of Domination. Our number 9 winner is up another 66% this week, and that would be Eternal Flame from the Dark, currently valued at $18. For 4 mana, Eternal Flame does an amount of damage to an opponent equal to the number of mountains you control, and then deals half of that damage back to you. It could be used as a finisher in a mono red deck, but the more likely scenario is that this is a reserve list rare from the Dark, and it's currently being targeted as a buyout. Squirrels have always been a fun theme to me. Now, I've never actually built a deck, but I think it would be so much fun to have a casual squirrel commander deck. Our number 8 winner is also up 66% this week to almost $12, and that's Nut Collector from Odyssey. It's kind of a squirrel lord. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get to create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token and put that into play, and then all squirrels get +2/+2 as long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard. I'm not sure that squirrels will ever be a viable theme in Commander, but it would be fun to build a deck nonetheless. And this is probably on the move over the course of the last couple of weeks because it wasn't included in the recent Secret Lair squirrel drop. Coming in at number 7 this week, the Dual Decks Anthology printing of Elvish Harbinger is worth more than twice that of the other printings at $7.65. Now, this is typical of Dual Decks Anthology printings. The print run on all of those cards was much smaller. You can still pick up a Dual Decks Elves vs. Goblins for around $3, or an original Allura printing for about the $3.75 mark. Elvish Harbinger is actually one of the better Harbingers. They all let you fetch out a creature and put that card on top of your library, but Elvish Harbinger has some residual value in that it's actually a mana dork. Our number 6 winner this week has more than doubled in value. Phyrexian Devourer from Alliance is currently valued at $13.50. There's a few reasons for this happening. First of all, it's on the reserve list. Secondly, it's always been part of some fringe combos. But this week we had a couple of cards spoiled that point to Phyrexian Devourer. Of course, Magda Brazen Outlaw can sacrifice treasures to go dig this right out of your library and put it on the battlefield if you need it as a combo piece. And the brand new Akai Planeswalker allows you to cast legendary spells you own from exile, and Phyrexian Devourer is a great way to exile cards from the top of your library. Coming in at number 5, we have a card you've probably never heard of from Cold Snap, and that would be Lovisa Cold Eyes. At $5.27, she's up 328% this week. It's not too often that you get a lord that gives +2/+2, but Lovisa does just that for Berserkers, Warriors, and Barbarians. Combine this with the fact that she's in red, she'll be a likely include in any brand new Berserker builds. In the number 4 spot, we have another card that's moving because of Magda Brazen Outlaw being spoiled. That's Jester's Mask from Ice Age, valued at $24. Jester's Mask is up 468% this week. Of course, this is a reserve list card. Now, normally Jester's Mask costs 5 mana for an artifact that comes into play tap. And then, of course, you can pay 1, sacrifice it, and look through an opponent's hand and library and give them a new hand with however many cards they currently had. But with Magda, we can tutor out Jester's Mask by sacrificing 5 treasures and throw it directly on the battlefield. Seems like a pretty good way to have some fun with some of your opponents. Here we go again with Dwarven Recruiter. Our number 3 winner this week is up 625% to almost $8.50. This card had a huge jump back in 2016 with Kaladesh and all the dwarves we got from that set. Dwarven Recruiter for just 3 mana. When it enters the battlefield, we search our library for any number of dwarf cards, reveal those cards, shuffle our library, and then put those on top of our library in any order. Seems like a logical include in any dwarf tribal type deck. And with some really awesome dwarves getting spoiled from KALDHEIM, it's no wonder this is our number 3 winner this week. Coming in at number 2, Winter's Night is up 937%. That's right, just a week ago, this card was $1 rare, and today you're gonna pay $14 for this thing. Reserve list card from Alliances. There's a lot of speculation that Snow is going to be featured heavily in the upcoming KALDHEIM set, and if that ends up being the case, Winter's Night may be a go-to card for some brand new commander builds. And our big winner this week is up 1,735%. That's right, you're going to pay $9 for a Dwarven Blood Boiler, when last week it was a junk rare at just 50 cents. This card was only printed in Judgment. Now it's 3 red mana for a dwarf, and we can tap untapped dwarves we control, and target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. This is really important because Magda Brazen Outlaw states that whenever a dwarf you control becomes tapped, you create a treasure token. So this is a way to just go ahead and tap a bunch of your dwarves, and at the same time giving one of your big stompies a huge power boost. This is going to be an auto include in any new Magda build. Alright, before I get into cards I'm investing in this week, as always, if you're a subscriber, you know I want to thank you for being here. I really appreciate your continued support. And if you're looking for an additional way to support this channel, you can head on over to our online marketplace at www.dragonhillgames.com. You can find a link for that in the description of this video. I want to say thank you to people who are already sponsoring some upcoming box opening videos for the brand new KALDHEIM set. Let's kick things off with our value pick for the week, and this week I've chosen Morophon the Boundless from Modern Horizons. At $12, this card has pretty much bottomed out, and we already know that we're going to be getting some more changelings in the upcoming KALDHEIM set. There may never be a better time to get your hands on this 5-color commander. This week I have a couple of speculation plays for you guys, so let's jump right in with Dwarven Blastminer from Onslaught. Valued at 89 cents, this is a great pickup. The card's never been reprinted, and it's going to definitely be an auto include in any new dwarf builds. For just 2 mana, we're getting a 1/1 dwarf that we can pay 3 mana to tap and destroy target non-basic land. And now is a great time to be picking up Dwarven Blastminer while it's still under $1. And last but not least, we have Depella Pilot Exemplar from Kaladesh. At 39 cents, this card is a fantastic pickup for multiple reasons. First of all, it's a dwarf. Now, we haven't really seen that white is going to be a focus for dwarves in KALDHEIM, but it very well could be. Regardless of that, Depella is an excellent alternate commander if you're deciding to build a dwarf deck. For just 3 mana, we're getting a 3/3. Now, other dwarfs we control get +1/+1, so of course she's a lord. Each vehicle you control gets +1/+1 as long as it's a creature, and we've also seen that vehicles are going to be featured in KALDHEIM as well. And she also has an amazing ability. Whenever Depella Pilot Exemplar becomes tapped, you may pay X. If you do, reveal the top X cards of your library and put all dwarf and vehicle cards from among them into your hand, then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. A great potential commander considering all of the new dwarfs and vehicles we're going to be seeing coming out of KALDHEIM. Alright, I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode of This Week in MTG Finance. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button. It really helps me out. And I really do hope that everybody has an enjoyable holiday season. Alright, we'll see you next week. Bye for now.